little watermelon, it's just perfect for cutting and shaping around the watermelon. This is how I like to do my watermelon, because you know, when you do fruit platters and you're doing them at for brunch and things like that, this is how they do it. They take all the rind off. So anyway, I'm going to finish doing that, then I'll have that for later. So this is what I like to do with the Santoku. I use this for absolutely everything. It's in between a chef's knife and a cleaver, and it has these little air pockets, and as you saw, it when you were slicing through the watermelon, the air pocket released the rind. So that's a really big plus. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. You could pause if you want. Okay, so I've cleaned up that mess, but I wanted to talk about the knife a little bit. If you were to take this knife under a microscope, you'd see what looks like really tiny little teeth, almost like a saw. And the only thing that damages this is when you throw it into a drawer and it bends the teeth, or you're putting it in the dishwasher and it hits up against other metals. So it's really nice because this one comes in its own little knife holder, and so you can keep it protected that way. I just keep mine in my knife block. It's just really easy for me to get to, and since I'm constantly grabbing that knife, it makes it handier than going to the box. But if you were going to put that in the drawer, I would definitely store that in the box. The next thing I want to show you is these are all of our Eco-Glass cutters. We talked about that when we were doing our tartlets, and so the only one that I think I don't have here right now is the star shape. So the difference between the large and the small is that much, so that you know. And it makes great pot pies. Like, I love to do chicken pot pies in the large tart tray. And we have a great recipe in our catalog from Nancy Russo. That is my favorite one. I wanted to show a little bit about the zester because if you would look in my drawer, you'd see all kinds of tools. But I actually have 3 zesters, and the problem is that they don't zest. They never make it straight, but ours is really nice and sharp. And so this is really pretty if you do a chocolate cake with a chocolate ganache, and then you can just put the little bit of rind on the top. I love citrus, so it makes it really nice and thin, and then you can just chop it up. Or if you were doing something like chocolate curls, I take this little edge with the hole, and as well as making it a little twist for if you were going to have like a cosmopolitan or something like that and you wanted to have a twist of citrus. This makes a nice shape and a nice thickness, but it also works really well for chocolate. So I like to have my chocolate at like room temperature and then scrape it and get curls like that. I think I talked about the whisks before, and that of course it's ergonomically correct again, and it's really nicely balanced. And what's perfect about this whisk is that if it goes into a pan, it's not going to pop out. So that's what's really great about it. This is our, well, some people call it a dog dish. This is our mixing bowl. I have 2 of them in my house. I have 2 of them in my kit. This sits perfectly on the counter, and when you're mixing a cake or anything, it's just a great capacity. I really use this bowl a lot. I use it for doing like a tempered chocolate. I'll double heat chocolate and use it like a double boiler. And then we have our large spatula, which would fit the whole side, so you only have to scrape it once. That's another thing that I like. This is a heat resistant spatula. It goes up to 430 degrees. I do my peanut brittle. I've stirred spaghetti sauce. How many of you have ever had that spatula that, you know, it's just kind of round down here because it's melted? You're not going to have that with this, but I just want you to know that you've ingested all that. So that's how that works. We also have our scrapers, and this is our set of 5 scrapers. And I like to use these when I'm doing the tartlet, and I just would like to pull up the dough after I've rolled it on the roll pad. I just pick up the little edge and I can just peel it off. It also is great for any time you're doing the mixing bowl. It fits right in the bottom and has flexibility. And also on the roll pad, when you're doing any kind of pizza dough or bread dough or anything where it's a little sticky and you're doing the kneading, you can scrape underneath that and pick it right up. So these are great, and these are a great little giveaway too, because you get 5, and so you can just wrap them up individually, and this could be a hostess gift. And as much as they don't look like very much, you'll be so surprised at all the different things that you end up doing with them. So that's that, and I think that we are finished. So anyway, I hope this helps you with your business. I really am trying to make this as easy as possible. I thought I was doing this for 3 months, and here I am 3.5 years later. So this is Lynette saying bye, and I'm so glad to have you on my team.